Bacon here. Here's my second impressions of Mad Max. For those of you who don't know, who will be everyone because it's the first video in the series, second impressions is like a first impressions, but I've played a bit longer. It's like a review, except I haven't played enough of the game for it to be a review. It's basically I'm a lazy reviewer. So, now I've explained that, I'm just going to talk about the game for a bit. First thing first is the port. If you've seen Total Biscuit's port report or heard anything about this game, you know the port is brilliant. The options are very extensive. It runs at constant 60, apart from the odd one or two drops, very rare occasions, on my 680, on pretty high settings, and got fully rebindable keys. The only problems we could find with it, really, are the anti-aliasing is only FXAA, and it's not really well explained, and the controller has button maps. So, it's pretty good on the whole. Why talking about the controls though? I'm using control because I like to drive using controllers. I don't like keyboard and mouse. It's too analog or whatever. The controls are really strange for the controller. If you look there, left button is to aim and the right trigger is to fire, which is really strange. There's a couple of examples of that, which I'll get into later. And the only other criticism I have on the main menu is this existing. Warner Brothers, you're not Ubisoft, don't become them. This game does have a lot of Ubisoft sort of vibes to it, like the repetitive open world, the get into a high place to reveal parts of the map. That's not the best thing that they could have done, but I do like this game. And this is why I'm making this video, to explain why, because it has many, many flaws. And I just want to describe why I like it. So this is the map. It is quite big. I have been to most of it, apart from that place and this place. I just opened up this place. So yeah, you do side missions for these to upgrade the strongholds, and they'll treat you better and things, and you have to get the threat level down in these places where they're red. They become like this, and you won't get patrols in them. That's the general gist of the game. Let's get into it. Let's have a drive around, shall we? Show you some of a vehicular combat. So let's go to a convoy. I believe this is red, but I've had a trouble with me being colourblind. That's green. That means I've finished that convoy route. This one's red. I'm red-green colourblind. Bit of an issue there. You see? But for now I'm going to talk about the good points. The things that I think are good about this game. Which, the main thing is the customization of Max and the Magnum Opus. You probably noticed there that my Max had a huge beard and leather jacket on. Loads of stuff about it. Apart from being visual, this has like buffs for playing the game and different things that happen. And the car, your car, I mean, anyone else's car would probably look completely different to mine. The amounts of customization are ridiculous. As thank you, Chumbucket. Keep doing that. But his name is ridiculously close to it. So anyway, yes, the car. Shh. Probably should have turned his voice off. But you can change the tyres, you can change the engine, you can change the armour, you can change anything about this car can be changed. The hood ornaments, the speed that they're doing the back repairs. I've just gone past because I was concentrating on other things. The only criticism I have about the upgrading system of the car is it is a wee bit linear. So you'll just unlock parts in one straight line. You can't go for a certain part. But some parts do have positives and negatives to them, such as the armour. You'll be heavier, which means you won't be able to go as fast, or you won't be able to turn as well, but you can defend against more attacks. So that's... I do like that they've got some positives and negatives to each upgrade, sort of thing. You probably notice that the game is quite pretty. I mean, I know there's not a lot to render because it's a desert, but it is a pretty game, even not max settings with my 680. And it runs at a smooth 60 for me. At the moment we're getting 85. But, oh bloody hell. Snipers, yeah. In the open world, there are snipers and these scarecrows you've got to pull down, as well as these convoys and minefields. That's the main criticism that's been levelled at this game, I think, the repetitiveness of the open world. Is this red? Because I'm not finding this convoy, and I should be. We'll drive around a bit more, if not I'll abandon it and find something else. But the repetitiveness of the open world has come under fire. And although I see how it might become a bad thing, at this point I'm not really... I don't really see it as a bad thing. I'm enjoying it, and especially the convoys. They're really fun to do. The scarecrows don't take 2 minutes to take down. Same with the snipers. It's not as if it's a massively repetitive big job to do. Oh bollocks! That thing's deadly. Just if you've got to play this game, take those things out nice and early on. Ah! Bloody hell! Come on, chum. Get him off. That was unorthodox, but it works. Yeah. So, the vehicular combat in this game is probably my favourite part of it. I think it's very well done, even though there are other criticisms, people are levelling at it, such as it being repetitive or being over quickly, ow. But it's not like it doesn't lack variety if you try and play it that way. You can just use the harpoon and like not use any of the weapons, I suppose. But that means you're limiting your own fun, and why would you? Didn't mean to do that. Why would you want to limit your own fun by just using the boring harpoon when you've got weapons such as the thunder sticks, which I'll show you now, which is very nice. The issue I'm having now is that I'm on fire and I need Chum to fix me up. But the convoy stopped, so... Ah! Okay, right. I've now got to figure out how to stop this convoy. And... oh god. Bollocks! That did not work out for me, did it? Oh dear. Bollocks. Oh Jesus, I'm getting destroyed here. The thing about this game is this is... it might become sort of boring at points, but it has moments where it will win you back. The day before yesterday, I was playing it. I was doing a private live stream for a friend just because banter. And a series of events happened. I was chasing down a convoy, and I just managed to destroy the leader, blew them up, and the chain of events that happened, it was... I got out because my car was destroyed in the explosion, and I was struggling to sort of survive as the cars came and tried to run me down. Then a sandstorm started, and everything was getting blown everywhere. All the cars got blown down a slope, and it was a mess. Then I got struck by lightning, and I was just overwhelmed, and it was brilliant. There's no other way to describe it. It was exhilarating. It was fantastic. And that's the sort of thing the game excels at, just sort of dynamic things happening and coming out of nowhere to shock you. When that happens, the game is fantastic, and no amount of niggles will take away from that, I don't think. And there are a lot of niggles, a lot of problems with it. But when it's at its best, it is fucking brilliant. Just that those times can be few and far between, which is, I think, the main criticism being aimed at the game. That its exciting moments aren't very widespread. There's a mission that I've just done where you have to get through this big gate called the Jaw, which was a very enjoyable mission. There's a lot of explosions and shit. It's an Avalanche game, of course there's going to be lots of explosions and shit. But it was a very enjoyable mission because the way I played it, there's variety to the way you did everything. I just unlocked a new weapon, I could try that out. Shit goes down in this game. Shit goes down. And it is a good game for just pissing about, just for having a good laugh with. that's the conclusion that I've come to in the time that I've played this, about the 21 hours that I've been with this game. Maybe could probably say I've played enough for a review, but I'd like to finish the game before I put any real review sort of criticisms or evaluations to it. So I'm just gonna say another thing I really enjoy about Mad Max is the world. Some people have said that it's not particularly true to the source material. So what I did, I went and watched Mad Max 1, Mad Max 2, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome to see if I agreed with them. And I've also seen Fury Road a few months ago. And I don't agree with them. I think this is pretty faithful interpretation, and this is Mad Max. I mean, a lot of the points I see where people are coming from, but that just sounds like needless moaning about nothing, if I'm quite honest. I'm being terrible here. Just take it out with the what's it called? I'm just going to call it the boomstick, because I always forget what things are called. Oh, bollocks. Could show you some hand-to-hand combat now, because we've got people to do it with if they get out. Ow. That bloody hurt. Ah! I suppose I've also said the combat system's a bit shoddy, or a rip-off of Arkham, the Arkham series, and maybe it is a bit of a diluted Arkham system, but I enjoy it. It worked for the game. You don't need a massively complicated system, and don't see how in the universe you would make the combat system any different, and I don't see how you could add to it in this universe. Bollocks! I mean, there's plenty of variation, especially in base takeovers when you've got these thunder sticks. I think that's what they're called, unless that's what the explosive weapon that he's got in the back there is. Have we got someone on foot there? Yeah, we do. So basically, it's just the normal dodgy, not as in dodgy as in weird, sort of, doesn't... That was underwhelming, wasn't it? It's the dodgy, attacky Arkham system, with different finishers with the shiv, and there's you can pull your shotgun out and do stuff like that. So that's a thing. Indeed. I'm gonna finish off this sort of ramble as I round off my points and conclude by going to a base to show you that last sort of section of the gameplay and talk about one of my main complaints with the game, which is the vagueness of it. The systems aren't particularly explained that well. The convoys there, for a long time I wasn't sure whether you're supposed to destroy them or take the lead car back to a base. You do have to destroy them, which I've now found out. If you could play this, do know that. And the scrap caravans, I didn't know what to do with them. I think you can do either, but I'm still not sure. There are plenty of things in this game that it just doesn't tell you. I mean, for the storytelling, finding objects around the world, that's great. It builds the atmosphere and... Thank you, Chum Bucket. I'll say it right this time. When you find these relics in these strongholds, and it tells you a little bit about the past world, and that's interesting. But when it does it with the game mechanics, that's just dodgy and awful. Why would you do that? The vagueness is my biggest problem, I think. I've probably said that for a few issues now. Ah, bollocks! Some people think the driving model's a bit shoddy, but I genuinely like it. It's quite a more realistic sort of approach where the wheels don't turn instantly. They take a short while to turn, because that's how wheels work on cars. Rather than just being instantly, we're now going right. See, we might want an arcadey thing, but come on. It's Mad Max, man. That's not a good point, but... How do I take this down? Can someone explain how... There should be a fuel tank here. you know, while I'm here, I will take the sniper out. Ah, up there. Boom. Yes. Nice. How do I take these down? There should be a fuel tank somewhere. It's very vague. There are sometimes multiple ways to take these things down. There might be a valve that I can turn somewhere, or there might be a fuel tank that can blow up. The thing is, I don't know. That's another vagueness of the game. Come on, that fire never hit me, you bastard. This is bullshit. Ooh, a top dog. Show you top dog fights. Which means that I can't really demonstrate the contextual buttons, which are really annoying. Sometimes you can carry a weapon, such as these, and you want to climb a ladder or maybe turn a valve, such as this one, and you can't. You might drop the weapon while you try to turn the valve, or you might go down the zip line instead of trying to pick a weapon up. It's annoying as hell. Let's get into the fight now. I can show you more of the combat system. And boosh. Come on, I dodged that. I never said I was good at the game. You can either find food lying around or use your drink to regenerate health. It's not just automatic regeneration. Which which I like. Other criticisms that are pretty small to the game have been the first person mode in cars. It's absolutely terrible. It didn't need to be there. If you're going to do a first person mode, at least do it properly. I mean, I don't want to see everything blurry and make me want to vomit. And the balloons that you use to discover more of the map are quite slow. And I have to agree, but it's not a big thing. It really isn't. It's such a tiny, tiny thing. I think it's a good point to mention, though, that I did pick up this game the day after it was released for 44% off, which might contribute to why I like it so much, because I'm getting better value for money than someone who's paying full price for the game would. Because, well, I got it for a less price, and I've already getting more than £1 an hour value out of it. I've played over 20 hours, and I got it for £19.59. Bollocks. You fuck off, dickhead. Is he going to put me to another cutscene now? Or is he going to give me more enemies? Okay. This is not fun. Is it just them dudes? Oh, there's more than I thought. Right. I think that's all I've got to say, if I'm honest. So, I'm going to finish off a few fights. Just keep talking, see what I can say about it, and round up the video with my conclusion. The thing about this game is it's by no means a perfect game. Well, not much is. But it's, I wouldn't even say it's that good of a game, but I love it more than most games that come out. That might be because of the world. That might be because I got it for cheaper than most. But I generally do love this game despite all its flaws, and I would recommend picking it up wholeheartedly. It's got a lot in there. Some people say it's trying to do too much, but I disagree. Although it is a bit of a clusterfuck, it works. It really does to me. And despite all those little niggles, despite everything, the game is brilliant. This has been Smoky Wreck, and I are confused about what to do in this bit. I'm going to sign off.